Hey everybody, it's Matty B here. First of all, just want to say sorry that the video was late. It's been quite a busy week. Had my birthday plus Valentine's and all this all in one week. So yeah, that's the reason why it's late. Now on to the video. Now this is a very easy way of making urban terrain bases for your armies. For example, I'm doing this for Krieg. I fucking love the Krieg models. Bloody love them. So this video is going to be all about how to make terrain bases for them, and then next week's video is going to be how to make some more that you can add on to this terrain base, and also how to paint Krieg kind of like the box art, like an easy way of doing that. Yeah, so enough said, let's begin. Okay, so all you're going to need for this build is old cork and some old sprue. Kind of like a theme with some of my, most of my videos. So yeah, so first of all, use a straight edge, a ruler, whatever, to cut yourself a nice straight edge. And that's going to be the bottom of your wall. So now I'm going to do like a corner style part of the building. So it's quite easy. Score the shape out with a knife, and this way when you go to break it, it breaks really easy. Nice, simple. Now you can do whatever shape of the wall you like, whatever height you like. As you'll see with the Kriegman later in the picture, this is kind of like the perfect height for what I wanted. So there's the two are. Just make sure that they're as flat. Yes, I mean you can get some sandpaper and sand the edge. I'm quite happy with just cutting it ever so slightly. Now this is all trial and error, as you can see. It's a bit fiddly, just to line it up, just to see how it looks, move it around. So it's going to need a lot of super glue to get this to stick. That's just cork for you. So what I do is I put a large amount of glue where the two actually join. And you need to sort of hold it. But then this is also what I do as well. So I put loads of super glue on both sides of the edges. This holds it all in place. You're not going to see it later on, because we're going to add a top layer to the cork to give it more of that wall look. So all we're doing here, off screen obviously, hi, welcome to my videos, is taking some old sprue. Now what you want to do is just use your snippers and then just cut just off center one way and then just off center the other way. So you're kind of almost doing like a cross in the middle of it. The reason why we're doing this is what it's going to be like the rebars, all the steel bars that are coming out of the wall, and you want them to be all random shapes. You don't want them to be all normal shapes, or uniform shapes, should I say. Simple as, just put your super glue, loads of super glue in there. Simple. Done. And you can do as many as you want. Now for the wall texture, you want to take 2 parts glue to 1 part sand. This is pretty much 50-50. And this is just a little bit on the thick side. You kind of want it spreadable, but you don't want it to sort of like drip down the sides. So as you can see, it just looks a bit like peanut butter. Spread out as smooth as you can. This is going to just give that wall a nice, almost like plastered finish. It spreads out really nice. You ain't gonna be too fancy here. The only bits that you don't want to do is keep the top and the sides bare. So this is where I've just added a little bit more glue to it, just so you can see the difference in texture. Any more than this, it will probably start to run down. As you can see, this is a lot more runnier, but I've gone for a slightly thinner texture on the inside of the wall, just so it looks like there's a difference between the inside and outside. And this is how it looks with the sand coating on, gravel, basing, and also the sprues sticking out the top. Okay, so now on to my favourite bit. So the colours you're going to need now is Somber Grey from Vallejo, a Baden Black from Citadel, and you want to do a 50-50 mix. And just dry brush the whole thing. You haven't got to worry about being too precious with this part, just to coat the whole thing. And this is going to be just to get all the textures, some of the stones. Now, if the stones haven't fully stuck, as you can see, there's a little bit that's come off there. Absolutely fine, we'll just coat that with the black paint later on. So now we're on to just full Somber Grey. And yet again, just work on the top parts of it mainly. Keeping it simple, just dry brush everything. This is just to bring out all the textures, all the good stuff. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do all the mud and the dirt. So I'm using Warm Brown from Pro Acryl, one of my favourite colours. You want it to be 3 parts water to 1 part brown. You want it to be quite runny. The reason being is that's going to run in all between the rocks, all the crevices, and even if it goes onto the rocks, it will just look like it's got splashed up and it's sort of working its way down. Just like it would in real life. So you haven't got to be too precious here. Yes, try and stay way away from the bigger rocks, but just don't panic too much. This is quite bright, however it does dull down ever so slightly. And there you go. We're literally almost there. Almost there to the finished piece. This is how easy this method is. Onto the rust element. So while you still got the brown paint, you just want to go where all the metal is, and then in the deepest crevices, you just want to paint the brown into all the crevices, and this is going to be the base of the rust. So I had a little bit of a random sprue bit what I like the shape of, so I stuck that on the base as well. So the amount of rust you do on your bases is totally up to you. I'm gone for rusty, however not too crazy on this base. Now this is the method using the acrylic paints, but there are products out there like Dirty Down Rust. Citadel do a dry brush version of their rust. I'm more than happy to do like a little video so you can see what those products are like. If that's something you would like, please leave a comment, and I can do one of those videos, not an issue. So what you're going to do once you've done your base coat is mix burnt orange from Pro Acryl with the warm brown, and then you probably want to do 50% of where you've done your brown with this orange mixture. And then the very final thing is I've used orange fire just on the very tips, maybe 10-15%. And rather than doing like big areas, what I'm doing here is I'm stippling on. So even though I might be covering a larger patch, they're actually like little stipples. So as you can see, and this is all going to dry and darken down. I'm using these tufts just to add some greenery. However, there is a new company starting on the 28th of this month, and that is Scenics, or Siege Scenics. Everyone knows Siege Studios, so I will be getting some of them to try them out and doing a review, just because they're such a big part of the hobby, the community. I think we should support them if we can. So yeah, add some grass juice, up to you, add some more. or take some away. It's all up to you. Now for this base rim, I'm going for a brown. I know, shock horror. Alright, don't get your pitchforks out just yet. I just thought it would look kind of cool with a different colour base. I normally always do black. So I thought I'd go for a different colour. However, I feel it kind of worked for this base, if I'm being honest with you. Let me know what you think. Are you more sort of traditional black bases, or are you happy for whatever colour? So all I'm doing here, now this is a totally up to you, is I've mixed 50-50 with the somber grey with white, and I'm literally just doing the very, very tops of the rocks, some on the metal, just to give it sort of the extra highlight, and on the tops of the rocks. This is the very first, final highlight for the piece. So all that's left now is the glamour shots, I suppose. You're going to see what it looks like with the Krieg men on there as well, just to show you. Ta-da, ta-da. And as you can see, for scale, just a small part of the wall. Now there's a little bit extra added on the base there. The next video is going to be how to make that. So there you have it. Easy to do urban bases for your armies. If you like what you see, please leave a comment. If you do use this tutorial and you post up on Instagram, please tag me in it. Be really, really good to see your style and your take on these base ideas. But yeah, thank you very much. Subscribe, watch the next video, and I will see you next week. Bye.